ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव। ओम गुरुदेव भगवान शिव शंकर भोलेनाथ कैलाशपति महाराज की जय, भगवान व्यास जी महाराज की जय, शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय, स्वामी चिन्मयानंद भगवान की जय, स्वामी दयानंद भगवान की जय, स्वामी प्रबुद्धानंद भगवान की जय, माता पिता की जय, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय, स्वामी शुद्धानंद भगवान की जय, साध्वी आनंद ज्योति जी की जय हो, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय, सभी गुरु देवताओं की जय। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता चैप्टर 4 वर्स नंबर 31। यज्ञशिष्टामृत भुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनं नायं लोको असत्य यज्ञस्य कुतो अन्य कुरु सतम्। By performing these religious disciplines, the mumukshu gains eternal Brahman. Kuru Satam, O best among the Kurus. Arjun, Yajna Shishtha Amrita Bhujam. Those who partake of the nectar, the result that is left over after Yajna, Sanatanam Brahma, eternal Brahman, Sanatanam, eternal. Sanatan means eternal, always there, which does not have end, which does not have beginning and the end. Sanatan. Yanti, reach. Ayajnanasya, for the one who does not perform yajna, ayam, this lokaha, world, na asti, is not, anyaha, another, kutaha, how. Arjuna, the best among the Kurus, those who partake of the nectar, the result that is left over after the yajna, reach the eternal Brahman. For the one who does not perform yajna, nothing is gained. Nothing is gained in this world. How then can he gain anything in the other world? Any yajna. Bhagavan says any yajna that is performed has a result. Amrita, nectar, here means the prasada, the result of the yajna. Whatever is sister left over after the offering is made in the yajna, and those who enjoy or partake of the result of the various yajna are called Yagyasista Amrita Bhujas in this verse. What do they gain by performing these religious disciplines? They gain steadiness and purity of mind. which enables them to enjoy certain composure and tranquility. And if they are seekers, mumukshus, this kind of mind will help them to gain self-knowledge, which they are pursuing. Whether or not person is a mumukshu, there is always a result in form of punya when a yajna is performed. And the punya will give them whatever it can give, either in this life or future ones. But moksha can only be gained if the person is a mumukshu, a seeker. A seeker of the knowledge will get moksha. Otherwise, antakaran shuddhi will get punya. Since we are talking about karma yoga, yogis here, the word yogina having been used previously, the people referred to in this verse will naturally be mumukshus. Being desirous of moksha, such people will gain the kind of mind that can inquire productively. In other words, the inquiry will be fruitful. If a yajna is performed by a mumukshu, it will lead to moksha. They will gain eternal Brahman. Yanti Brahma Sanatanam. Here, Yanti means they go to or they reach Brahman. Whenever we say they go to Brahman, means they reach. They reach by knowledge. They reach. Only by knowledge one can reach Brahman. There is no other reaching. There is no way of reaching. The snake you see does not go away from the rope. It is there in the error. When there is error, there is snake. And as soon as the error is gone, the snake is gone. But snake, buddhi is gone. There was no snake to go. There was nothing to go. Rope was there, rope is there, rope will be there. Rope doesn't go anywhere. Only the error goes. Snake also don't go because snake was not there. So how will the snake go? The one which was not there, how and where will it go? Only the error goes. Same happens when knowledge takes place. The error about self goes. The error about Atma goes. The self-error goes. Self-error is no more there. There is no self-error and only Paramatma is there. Only Paramatma. Nothing else. Only Paramatma. The self-error, the error which is creating me, mine and the whole Jagat is no more there. This error has to go. One understands the nature of oneself. That is Brahman. When inquiry is made, the inquiry must be conducted. And for this inquiry, one needs time. Time is required. So, enjoying the result of yajna, a purified or steady mind, only a purified and steady mind, they inquire and gain the knowledge of Brahman. The mind which is at peace, The mind which is steady, the mind which is not flickering with the things of the world. They inquire. That mind is Jignasu. That mind inquires, and that mind only gains knowledge of the Brahman. It is the only way people can go to or reach Brahman. There is actually no going, no reaching. It is only in the words they reach Brahman. The error goes and Brahman remains. The error of snake goes and rope remains. The error goes, the error about oneself goes. The nature of oneself is identified as Brahman alone. The knower of Brahman being not separate from Brahman. The one who knows Brahman is not separate from Brahman. There are no two Brahmans. Atma already being Brahman, knowledge of this fact alone makes seeker gain Brahman. This is Brahma Vidya. The knower of a thing does not usually become that thing. For example, the knower of microbiology does not become the microbes that he or she knows. Nor does the knower of the history becomes history. In such instances, the knower is always different from what he or she knows. Whereas in the famous story of the 10th man, the knower of the 10th man is the 10th man himself. There is no other 10th man. If I am the 10th man and I am not also seeking the 10th man, then as the knower of the 10th man, I become the 10th man. I am the 10th man, and because I left myself out while counting, I found the 10th man missing. When someone tells me, hey, you are the 10th man, I gain the knowledge. It is the 10th man who gains the knowledge of the 10th man as himself, as myself. Thus the knower of the 10th man is indeed the 10th man himself. So where the knower and the object known are identical, the knower of the object is the very object known. Whereas the object is separate. Whereas where the object is separate, something else is the object, about which knowledge is to be gained. The knower of the object is different from the object. Here Brahman is myself. There is no other than me. There is no Brahman other than me. Here the Brahman is myself. Atma. Therefore the knower of Brahman becomes Brahman, which is the peculiarity of this particular knowledge. The word yajna is used because knowing has to take place. What takes place is the knowledge that takes place. Only this is the change, the knowledge that takes place. Nothing else changes. There is no any other change. The seeker have to know Brahman. Moksha cannot be gained simply by performing yajna. Knowledge of Brahman has to be gained. The gaining of which is moksha. Gaining of knowledge is moksha. Shankaracharya ji makes it very clear in his commentary that the verb gains is used here to indicate that an inquiry has to be conducted, which involves time, and that through this inquiry Those who are mumukshus will gain the eternal Brahman. Sanatanam Brahma Yanti. This is to be understood very clearly. This alone is to be understood. The use of praise and criticism in Gita. A common method of presenting the teaching found throughout the Gita is demonstrated in this verse. The use of stuti, praise, followed by the use of ninda, criticism. Praise is of the knowledge or the Shastra. Only Shastras are to be praised. Only Shastras stuti is to be done. The teacher and the student are also praised because of the knowledge. Even the result is praised. Even the result, the knowledge. To praise the Jnani is in fact to praise the result, moksha. Ninda. Criticism is done for no other reason than to create vairagya. No, this ninda is not done to demoralize. This ninda is done to create vairagya in the student of that is inimical to the vision and to create proper interest in this vision. And therefore a stronger commitment to it. People may come to the study with the lukewarm enthusiasm. To stoke this mind enthusiasm into the burning desire to know, the Gita employs criticism and praise, ninda and stuti. Stuti always coming first. Thus, wherever you find stuti, you will find ninda later. Here in this verse, the result, the phala is stated first. They gain eternal Brahma. It means that the performance of such discipline, sacrifice and prayer is productive in that it will indirectly help you gain the knowledge of Brahman. Presenting them against the background of what your lot will be if you do not perform them further increases whatever taste you already have for them. Whatever degree of commitment you have towards performing them. This is done in the second line of the verse. Ninda is done in the second line. Only when contrasted against stuti, praise, can ninda, criticism be properly understood. Until and unless the praise is done, ninda is not understood. To understand ninda, first stuti is to be done. A child, for example, should be praised or congratulated when he or she deserves it, and judicially chided when necessary. When you tell a child first what he or she has done is right, then when you point out what is wrong, the child will understand. Why child? Anybody, whenever you are explaining anybody, first tell the good thing about him or her. Tell the right thing, you have done this thing right, and then correction about the wrong thing. This psychology is seen uniformly throughout the Gita. First there is praise and then immediately afterward comes the ninda. In this verse, the importance of the yajna is easily understood because of this method of stuti and ninda. Those who perform various yajnas already presented and a few others found in the Vedas or other Shastras that back up the Veda gain Brahman. And those who perform none of these prayerful disciplines do not gain anything. Such a person is called ajnana, one who performs no yajna, ayajna. The importance of proper attitude and discipline. What is the importance? What is the importance of proper attitude and discipline? This world that is commonly shared by everyone has certain things to give. So, from simple pleasure to the joy of maturity, But if there is no discipline, the world has nothing for you. Ayam loka nasti. If you do not have a prayerful attitude and discipline, the world can give you only bumps and potholes, nothing else. When your back is in trouble, even a small bump can excruciatingly painful. Without having certain attitude, there are a lot of bumps in life, lot of situations and events that you find you cannot swallow, and that are not very pleasant. Without a proper attitude, how are you going to face them? And what are you going to accomplish without discipline? Even material success is not possible. Thus it is said here that even this world, ayam loka, which holds out certain joys to everyone, cannot be had by a jnana, a yagna. Even small joys are not available for a person. That is why we say for a small things also, Hey Bhagavan, Kripa karo, Kripa karo Bhagavan, Kripa karo. No other world is possible, and where is the guarantee that you will be born again as human being? Even small joys are not available for such a person. Where then is the possibility of any other world, aya loka, for you, anya loka? When good result is not possible without prayer in this loka, how in other lokas? No other world it is possible. And where is the guarantee that you will be born again as human being only? You might be born as something else. All you can do is wait for another set of karmas to give you a human body and another chance to make a better use of it. That is why हमारे स्वामी जी कहते हैं, इसी जन्म में अच्छे कर्मों को करने से, शास्त्र श्रवण करने से, अच्छी बुद्धि होने से ज्ञान प्राप्ति का साधन बनता है. If you cannot gain what this world has to offer, how can you hope to gain another world? Kuta anya? Any other world, a better life, a better world of experience like heaven or so on, requires punya, and therefore sadhan, meaning ritual and prayer, special meditation and good acts, all of which are possible only when you have discipline. When you have discipline, only then it is possible. Therefore, there is no other loka available for you without prayerful discipline in the same form, some form or the other. Eternal Brahman, Sanatan Brahma is what is to be gained in life, and for the person without discipline, it is very far away indeed. Thus, if even this world is not there for him, then what to talk of eternal Brahman? One may make money, but to enjoy what one has, there must be an attitude for which some education is required. The person who does not have proper attitude always postpones the enjoyment of what he or she has, thinking, when I get such and such, it will be wonderful, then I will enjoy. But when such and such is gained, the person does not feel wonderful at all, and the postponement begins all over again. Something else has to be gained over and over again. In the discipline, if the discipline is not there, if the prayerful attitude is not there, if the values are not there, you cannot really get anything. Whereas if you have discipline, even if you have no money, you can gain a lot. It costs nothing to enjoy the stars. for instance. It costs nothing to look at moon. You can enjoy looking at moon, you can enjoy looking at stars. Like this, there are a lot of things to be enjoyed that do not require money. There are different books available in public library. In fact, you need not even buy a book. You can go to library and read those books. Without money, you can always borrow a book, read on the topic and enjoy. Whereas with money, but without the proper mind, what can you enjoy? You have lot of money, but no mind to enjoy. The mind is only to earn. All enjoyment requires a mind after all. If the mind is always concerned with the future and has no glad acceptance of what is, where is the question of any enjoyment for the person? All go-getters are futuristic people who do not enjoy what they have. This futuristic attitude motivates them to do all kind of things, and then they rationalize their behavior by saying they are success-oriented people. But what value does such success have when they cannot enjoy what they live, what they have? Success should necessarily be viewed from two standpoints. What one gets out of this life is one type of success, and what one accomplishes is another. The first one, that is what one gets out of life, is the one that really counts. For one who has no discipline, life will not even yield a small gain. And as for eternal Brahman, it is far indeed. From this verse we can understand the yajna is definitely to be done. Krishna then concludes this section. And then he further says, knowing these yajnas to be born of karma and therefore Atma, you will be liberated. This is verse number 32. Evam bahu vidya yajna vitita brahmano mukhe karma jana vidyetana sarvaneva gyatva vimokshasya brahmana of the Veda, mukhe in the mouth. Evam, in this manner, bahu vidhe, many and varied, yajna, religious discipline, vitataha, are very elaborately mentioned. Tana, them, shravana, all, sarvan, all, karmajan, born, karma, vidhi, understand, born of karma, karma jana, born of karmas, vidhi, understand, evam tasa janat jnanatva, knowing, vimokshasya, you will be liberated. In this manner, many and varied religious disciplines are very elaborately mentioned in the words of the Veda. Understand them all to be born of karma and therefore anatma. Knowing thus, you will be liberated. Here Krishna sums up this section of the various religious disciplines, all of which are karma. In karma, he had said, the wise person see only a karma. Then he talked about ritual and other forms of yajna in order to present the knowledge that Atma is self, is a karta, non-doer. This is what he is trying to explain. Krishna also mentioned these disciplines because they are useful in form of disciplines themselves, in addition to bringing about Antakaran Shuddhi. At the same time, what is ultimately to be gained through all of them is the knowledge. Atma as a Karta. This is the knowledge to be gained. The Atma is non-doer. Atma is a Karta as Brahman. The word Brahma in the present verse refers to the Vedas. In those pages or words, the various types of religious practice already discussed are very elaborately detailed. Now Krishna says, understand all these religious disciplines to be born of karma. Tana sarva karma jana vidhi. Tana sarvan karma jana vidhi. Whether they are physical actions, kayika karmas, oral actions, vachaka karmas, or mental manas karmas, they are born of certain activity on the part of doer karta. For this reason they are called karmajana, karmajas, born of these threefold karmas. They are anitya and therefore are only anatma. What is doer? Who is the doer? The karta here. The disciplines are karmajas, born of karma, not atmajas. They are karmajas. Karmajas, karma se janma hua jinka, not atmajas. That is not born of atma. It means they are born out of the instruments, karanas alone, born of antahkarana, the mind, the vagendra, the organ of speech, and karmendriya, the organs of action. The organ of speech and organs of action. They are either born purely of the mind or the mind with the help of the sense and organs of action. Therefore, the karta can only be the body, mind, sense complex, the karya karana sangatana. This is very interesting verse. It has confused a lot of people, as we see by some of the interpretation, English translation and commentaries that have been written on it. Having said that the religious disciplines are presented in the Vedas and that they are all born of action, Krishna then says that knowing this you will be liberated. How can this be? How can you be liberated? By understanding that these karmas are born of various activities formed by physical limb, organs of speech, or the mind. The point to be clearly understood here is that these disciplines are not born of Atma. One has to go back to the statement karmani akarma yah pasyet, and remember that Krishna is summing up here to make this point clear. Shankara glosses the word karma jana as anatma jana, and says that understand that all these are born of anatma. Tan sarvan anatma jana vidhi. The physical body, deha, is anatma, as are the mind and all the indriyas, the organs of perception and the organs of action, which includes the organ of speech. This is why Shankaracharya uses the word atma jana. Karma jana means anatma jana, born of anatma alone. They are anatma because they are karmas, object for you, the atma. This is going to take long time to understand, sir. Let it be. Keep on revising the text again and again and again. हमारे स्वामी जी कहते हैं बार 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 पढ़ते रहो, पढ़ते रहो, पढ़ते रहो. ये टेक्स्ट समझना आसान नहीं है. The physical body is not the karta. It is only karma itself being an object. The karma is an object for the subject, the Atma, and the subject Atma is not subject to objectification. Being a karma, the physical body is anatma. It is not Atma. It is an object, not the subject. The disciplines are born out of the physical body, the organ of speech and the mind, all of which are object, anatma, for you, atma the subject. Therefore, karma jana means anatma jana. Shankaracharya ji makes it very clear that this fact is to be well understood. And once you understand that these disciplines are born out of anatma and not out of atma, you know that atma, the self, is a karta, free from any type of activity, niravyapara, free from any action. We need only to see that disciplines are born of anatma for it to become evident that they are not born of atma. All the karmas elaborately detailed in the pages of Veda, some of which are mentioned here, are anatma janas, born of anatma alone. They are born of karya karana sangata, karya karana sangata, mind, senses. The body, mind, sense complex. The body, mind, and the sense. The sangatana. Since they are anatmajas, they are anatmajas, they are not atmas, they are anatmajas. We understand that atma is not the karta. Therefore, atma is not the karta. Atma is not the doer. This vision is called karmani akarma darshanam, seeing a karma even when karma is performed. Seeing a karma even when the karma is being done. Seeing the akarma in karma. We have seen earlier in this chapter how even as one performs karma, the karta is negated. Everything being Brahman, Brahma Rapana, Brahma Avaha, Brahma Agnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahma Arpanam, Brahma Ahaiva, Brahma Agnau, Brahmana Hutam. The other karkas, the object of action, the means of action, the purpose of action, from whence the action comes and the location in which the action take place, all are nullified along with the karta. Even though the karkas are seemingly there, their reality is nullified by negating the contention that there are divisions between them and Brahman. This negation is called sublation. The subletting, the reality is of division, such as seeing that there is no division whatsoever. Knowing Atma as a karta, knowing the karya karana sangata to be the doer, knowing that the doer is Atma, knowing that doer is Atma, but Atma is not the doer, one is liberated from karma and the karma phalas. Ashubha. Ashubha means that which is not auspicious, that which is not good for you. Thus, as Shankaracharya ji says in his commentary, on this verse, you are liberated from inauspicious karma phalas, which includes both punya and papa. Ashubh yakta karma phala vimukshase. Liberation from bondage through knowledge. Liberation can also be expressed in terms of release from samsara. You are released from the bondage of samsara, which is due to ignorance about Atma being a karta. The moment you take Atma, the self, as a karta, samsara is born and you become a sansari. Knowledge of Atma as a karta is the clear vision, samyagya darshan of Atma as its knowing, as it is. Knowing this, you will be freed from all karmas and karma phalas, which is what samsara is all about. Karma phala is what accounts for given birth. Janma, during which there is again karma and therefore more karma phalas accrued by you, which results in yet another birth. This cycle continues until you come out of the orbit of knowing that you are not the doer. As Shankaracharya ji puts it in the last line of his commentary, you know that all the activities that you perform are not your activities. You know that you are nirvyapara, free from all activities, and that you perform no action whatsoever. Knowing that I am nirvyapara does not mean that I am indifferent to everything, or that I do not exert myself, which is sometimes how the word nirvyapara is understood. That I am devoid of activities, in fact, is the fact. Whereas to not exert myself is condition of laziness. Shankaracharya ji defines nirvyapara as udasina. Means here that Atma is always sakshi, a witness who never gets involved in the activities. Thus, without me, no activity can take place, but at the same time, I am indifferent to all the activities, meaning that I am independent of all activities. When you say I am indifferent, there is definitely a karta involved, an attitude of doership. But here Atma is purely the sakshi, the witness. It does not perform any action. When this is your vision of yourself, Atma, you will be mukta, free from bondage of samsara. Sansara bandhanat vimukshase. Seeing doership in the self, Atmani kartavya darshana is the only cause for bondage. There is no other. If you see doership in Atma, meaning that you take yourself as the doer, then there will be a samsara for you. If you take yourself as the doer, there is samsara. And if you take yourself as non-doer, you are free from, released from the bondage of samsara. This is only difference this is the only difference there is between bondage and liberation, as this verse makes it very clear. Next verse number 33, Krishna praises the knowledge that is liberation. Now this we will see tomorrow. This is going to be another very interesting and absolute knowledge, which we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyati. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Gurubhyo Namaha. हरिः ओम तत्सत्।